For millennia, the Drazel Imperium stood unchallenged. They were titans, 10-foot-tall warriors with skin like living metal, reflexes beyond measure, and minds perfectly synchronized for combat. In every war, they dominated. Every planet they conquered bent to their will. No species dared resist once the Drazel warbanners appeared in orbit. They believed themselves to be the apex of evolution. And then, they met humanity. When the scout ship Zargok first encountered Earth, it was treated as a trivial formality. Reports described a Class 4 civilization with scattered orbital infrastructure and primitive weaponry. The Drazel Council laughed at the footage. Small, soft bipeds arguing on fragmented networks, obsessed with art, emotion, and history. Still, protocol dictated that subjugation was necessary. The Drazel never negotiated. The invasion began with the bombardment of Earth's defense satellites. Clean, surgical strikes intended to demonstrate superiority. But Earth didn't react as expected. Commander Korvac stood aboard the Drazel battleship Vindicator, watching live feeds of the human military scrambling jets, activating laser defense grids, and, most curiously, transmitting encrypted signals into deep space. Pathetic. One of his lieutenants spat. Korvac said nothing. Something felt off. Then came the counterattack. Humanity didn't just fight back. They adapted. Within hours, Earth's fragmented nations had formed a united command. Within days, human AIs were intercepting Drazel communications. By the end of the week, the Vindicator had been forced to retreat, under siege by experimental railguns and space-to-space kamikaze drones launched from the dark side of Earth's moon. The Drazel lost 5 ships in orbit. No species had ever inflicted such damage on them in a first-contact war. The Council was furious. They blamed Korvac's hesitation and sent the infamous Warpack Threxen, a full battle group of Drazel elite shock troops, to finish the job. This time, they struck Mars first, where humans had just begun settling. But when the Drazel reached the Red Planet, they found no one instead. A message awaited them, carved into the sand with precision lasers. "We moved. You're not the only ones who know how to plan ahead." Threxen launched in rage toward Earth. What they found was not a planet waiting to surrender, but a trap. Earth's orbit had become a fortress of shifting space stations, cloaked weapons platforms, and decoy drones. Human command ships burst from hiding in the asteroid belt, launching EMP barrages and anti-armor nukes. Earth's surface lit up with coordinated missile strikes. And then came the humans themselves. They didn't look like much, just armored suits and screaming aircraft. But they fought like monsters. Not for conquest, not for dominance, but for something far. They fought for each other. Drazel warriors, bred for loyalty to the Empire, couldn't understand it. These humans cried, bled, laughed, and yet stood their ground even when their odds were hopeless. Even when wounded, they refused to retreat. Even when outnumbered, they found ways to win. Korvac watched the Second War unfold from a distant command post. He had expected humans to lose quickly, but instead he saw something terrifying. Humanity was learning faster than the Drazel. Every time the Drazel deployed a new weapon, humans reverse-engineered it. Every time the Drazel adjusted tactics, humans responded within days, sometimes hours. And perhaps worst of all, humans broadcast the entire war. Their species watched, mourned, and united. For the first time in centuries, they had a single voice, a single banner. They called it Project Aegis, a united planetary defense, built not just with technology but with belief, hope, rage. Then came the final strike. The Drazel launched a doomsday weapon from deep space, a planetary core disruptor. It would fracture Earth's mantle and boil the oceans. They didn't know Earth had a final line of defense. A ship, not the biggest, not the fastest, but the most human. The UNS Defiant, an experimental deep space vessel, powered by quantum singularity drives and captained by Admiral Reyna Solari, a war orphan from the early attacks. She didn't wait for orders.